Today we'll be discussing on the left out provisions which are provided under IPC for the protection of women against violence. One of the law or the provision which is available under the Indian Penal Code is section 304B, which speaks of dowry death. It provides that where the death of a woman is caused by any burns or bodily injury or occurs otherwise than under any normal circumstances within 7 years of a marriage, and it is shown that soon before her death she was subjected to cruelty or harassment by her husband or any relative of her husband for or in connection with any demand for dowry, such death shall be called as dowry death, and such husband or relative shall be deemed to have caused her death. For the purpose of this section, dowry shall have the same meaning as provided in Section 2 of the Dowry Prohibition Act. And the punishment which is available to a person who commits dowry death is imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 7 years, but which may extend to life imprisonment. The next provision is section 354, which speaks of assault or criminal force to woman with intent to outrage her modesty. So it provides that whoever assaults or uses criminal force to any woman intending to outrage or knowing it to be likely that he will outrage her modesty, he shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year, but which may extend to 5 years, and shall also be liable to fine. The next provision is section 354A, which speaks of the sexual harassment and punishment for sexual harassment. So it provides that any man who commits the offenses, which may be physical contact and advances involving unwelcome and explicit sexual overtures, or a demand or request for sexual favor, or showing pornography against the will of a woman, or making sexually colored remarks, he shall be guilty of the offense of sexual harassment. And for this, the punishment which is available under IPC is rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years or with fine, or both. The next section which is available is section 354C, which speaks of voyeurism. It provides that, now what is the meaning of voyeurism? It is provided in very detail under this particular section, that is 354C. Any man who captures the image of a woman engaging in a private act in circumstances where she would usually have the expectation of not being observed either by the perpetrator or by any other person at the behest of the perpetrator, or disseminates such image, shall be punished on first conviction with either description for a term which shall not be less than 1 year, but it may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to fine, and be punished on a second or subsequent conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which shall not be less than 3 years, but which may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to fine. The next provision which is available under IPC, and that is section 354D, which speaks of stalking. So it tells that any man who follows a woman and contacts or attempts to contact such woman to foster personal interaction repeatedly, despite a clear indication of disinterest by such woman, or monitors the use by a woman of the internet, email, or any other form of electronic communication, commits the offense of stalking, provided that such conduct shall not amount to stalking if the man who pursued it proves that it was pursued the purpose of preventing or detecting crime, and the man accused of stalking had been entrusted with the responsibility of prevention and detection of crime by the state, or it was pursued under any law or to comply with any conditions or requirement imposed by any person under any law, or in particular circumstances such conduct was reasonable and justified. So you see that this particular offense of stalking is committed now and then by a lot of people, and it is also, you will find it in the cybercrime, where people misuse the use of even internet email, or any other electronic devices. So here under IPC, that is Indian Penal Code, there is a protection which is available to a woman, and whoever commits the offense of stalking, he shall be punished on the first conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to fine, and be punished on a second or subsequent conviction with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 5 years, and shall also be liable to fine. The next provision which is available under IPC, and that is section 498A, and it provides actually the cruelty. It provides the husband or relative of husband of a woman subjecting her to cruelty. See, whoever being the husband or the relative of the husband of a woman subjects any such woman to cruelty, and he shall be punished with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Now, the term cruelty here means any willful conduct which is of such nature as is likely to drive the woman to commit suicide, or to cause grave injury or danger to life, limb, or health, whether mental or it may be physical, of the woman, or harassment of the woman where such harassment is with a view to coercing her or any person related to her to meet any unlawful demand for any property or valuable security, or is an account of failure by her or any person related to her to meet such demand. So section 498 is, it generally speaks of the physical or the mental cruelty which may be inflicted upon a woman by the husband or relative of the husband. Now, the last very provision which is available under the Indian Penal Code is word, gesture, or act which is intended to insult the modesty of a woman. Whoever, intending to insult the modesty of any woman, utters any word or makes any sound or gesture or exhibits any object intending that such word or sound shall be heard, or that such gesture or object shall be seen by such woman, or intrudes upon the privacy of such woman, he shall be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 1 year, or with fine, or with both. So these are the various provisions which are available under the Indian Penal Code. There are so many which I have discussed already in the last 2 videos regarding the rape, the acid attack, dowry, that voyeurism, stalking, cruelty,